Well, welcome back, Mr. Jack Blackley's Dark Web. Dark Web's connective into episode Dark Web. This is where, say, Jacques Lane in the laboratory all alone, he's done reconnaissance into, say, roughly around 20, almost I say 20, but 20 seconds of somethingness to blip it and come out with something half readable. This is where the dark web kicks off, and it's where you get in to actually find the electrical engineer who worked for the collieries. And the electrical engineer who worked for the collieries had connective bases to remote locations to know about the LAN type up and have it on an actual connector, to have that in a remote computer that could be capable of having all kinds of good stuff without being proved that he had actually had it from an actual IP, because it was a remote server off an actual connector from a satellite server as it went in from its own connect. Now, as this brings into an actual episode, is where it furthered it into the 12 tribes at the start, that movie part, and how it went to, say, the death cults of their little interconnectionals, and how they mix the actual money from stealing off inventions from other countries' inventories, like products that they would have to release in their country, but they wouldn't release it yet because it was skeptical or too modern advanced for, say, Mexico or stuff. But say from the Americas to this country, as Mr. Jack Blackley's Sharks TV series of Sharks is based in Australia, as you've had Heathcote and all sorts of stuff. And anyway, as it goes into it, is this where he connects them to it, and they start doing inventative, and they start getting new products, and they're trying to keep it out of other countries to sort of stay under the radar from full blueprints and full connections to have them into the actual public eye and selling it to make the money in the country for their own financial grandeur. But they did this from drug money. Like I referred back to that Colin cunt and their drugs at Numarella, they had drugs at Picton as well, as they have their death cult. As they were the 12 tribes, they were running drug cultivation rings as well. And they were collecting the Centrelink off people who would be in their religious movement past their death. It sort of went on to how they got called a death cult, because they have members of their cult, they're like religious cult, because they're oh so religious, be like straight into the death, and they're still like collecting Centrelink, so it's kind of scabby. But as they mixed it and made their money with drugs, it got a bit nasty. The episode, it goes for probably half an hour or 45-minute episode, and it shows the dark web and how they lured in this electrical engineer by targeting him at his actual home location on the other side of the Picton Road, as you have like coming through Wollongong from Picton side of Wollongong into, say, Wollongong itself, into, say, northern Wollongong, to, say, northern Wollongong suburb, where they targeted in on him and made him feel oh so special and said how they could prosper everyone and have oh so such a good time. So anyway, it goes into it where it gets a bit heinous, morbid, but say do the reconnaissance, like step into the actual frame of the network within that from the laboratory. It's just like easy enough to do it, but time on itself, you see the actual bringing up and the time of the actual lifestyle of that, where it goes into bits and pieces, and it's like a full new movie, mini movies, but episodes that goes back to, say, myself laying in the laboratory, hooked onto the machine, just like that Dare Gorillas. Mind you, couldn't have done it without Dare Gorillas, but giving lifestyles and actual fulfillments from something I enjoyed so much at a club where I was dancing and singing with the girls and all kinds of fun. But anyway, Jacques Marceau, 4.5 minutes into a quick upbring to a new episode I work with, to say fictional writing. Nothing wrong with that. It's only fiction. It's not really like factual. Bits are factual, like Picton's a place, collieries are real, but like it's like macabre in the way of it. It's a bit scary, real, but it's not too real. And like To the people I send it out to, like, it's a worldwide connect. If you're lucky enough in this country to see it, you don't really basis that it's real. But like other people in other countries that I send it to, because like go on YouTube or Amazon or Apple TV or wherever, blah, 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 it can just like pretty much play out where they see it or brief it or whatnot, scan it through, like say Americas or whatnot. They're like, oh yeah, bit of something, bit of hoo-ha, bit of something better than just staring at a black wall or like watching the paint dry, you know what I mean? As we just get a bit bored in entertainment fictitious writing. But anyway, 5 minutes, I don't have to explain myself. Jacques Marceau, Bush, peace.